Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. It is Tuesday, December 22nd. It's Rod with Power Group coming at you live with another daily market recap. And in today's video, we're going to discuss LHS, Liberty Health Sciences, up huge. They were up over 75%, so we had a huge gap up, and that was on the news of Ayr Strategies buying them out. So we'll take a look at that article and some charts here in just a moment. But before we jump into today's content, as always, make sure to drop me a like, I'd appreciate it, and consider subscribing to the channel. So, like I said, we'll go over some news and events with the LHS here a little bit later on. So if you are looking to get more information and detailed information about the deal and some charting on AYR and LHS, just stick with me, and we'll get to that here after we run through some news, as there was quite a few market moving headlines today. So we'll go through them as quickly as possible, but we all know Congress passes long away to cope the relief bill and government funding plan. So that seems to have offset the headlines of the mutation of the new strain that we've seen over the last couple of days. So haven't seen anything about that today. So it seems to be under control for the most part. We also saw that the US third quarter GDP growth was slightly up and revised. Existing home sales fell for the first time in 5 months in November as prices rose, but supply fell. So that was notable. There were just 1.28 million homes available for sale at the end of November. That is down 22% from a year ago and represents a 2 to 3 month supply at current sales pace. This is the lowest inventory count since National Association of Realtors began tracking this metric in 1982. The median price of the existing homes sold in November was $310,800. A 14.6 increase compared to November 2019. Wow. Apple targeting car production by 2024 and eyes next level battery technology. So Apple is moving forward with its self-driving car technology and is targeting a 2024 to produce a passenger vehicle that could include its own breakthrough battery technology. People familiar with the matter told Reuters. So stock was up huge today, massive gap up. And QQQ, the tech sector, was up big because of it. And we did see some weakness and some pretty choppy action today, back and forth action. But this is pretty interesting. Obviously, Tesla was down, NIO was down on this news. But keep in mind, it's not until 2024, so don't expect Tesla to be dethroned anytime soon. So here's the article of Liberty Health Sciences announced a strategic acquisition by Ayr Strategies, unlocking significant value for shareholders. So nice pump article here, but with very good reason to pump for LHS bulls. I know Ayr, I think it was down about 1.5% or 2% today. So if you're wondering why one is down versus the other, it's because usually the company that gets bought out usually sees a massive increase in share price, and they usually benefit more. So kind of like the Aphria and Tilray merger, then they merged, they were keeping the Tilray name, and I expected them to benefit the most, and that's exactly what we got. So this is a little different as they're actually buying them out. So they are pleased to announce that they have entered into a definitive agreement pursuant to which Ayr will acquire all of the issued and its outstanding shares of Liberty shares in Liberty all-in share transaction for a total consideration of approximately $372 million or $290 million US on a fully diluted basis. So you can check that out in its entirety if you want to learn more on that one. We also saw HEXO Corp announced lapse of the base shelf prospectus. So essentially, they have confidence in their financial position and outlook that they are deciding to let it expire. So they could essentially raise more money if they wanted to. So taking a look here, the shelf prospectus related to the offering for sale by the company from time to time during the 25-month period commencing November 19, 2018, up to $800 million in aggregate common shares, warrants, subscriptions, receipts, and units of the company. So between January 2019 and August 2020, the company issued securities under the shelf prospectus for aggregate gross proceeds of $254.3 million. The company has determined not to file another short form base shelf prospectus at this time. So they go on to say that they're, Trent McDonald, the CFO, goes on to say that they're well underway to path to profitability. First quarter of the fiscal year was the 6th sequential quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA improvement, not positive EBITDA, but adjusted improvement in EBITDA as they march toward becoming positive EBITDA and cash flow positive ultimately down the road. And we continue to hold the #1 position market share in Quebec while continuing to aggressively expand into the markets, and are now top 4 in adult use market share by net sale dollar volume in Canada. And we've also moved into the top beverage spot through Trust, which is a joint venture with Molson Coors, and have reached #1 market share position for hash, which we believe the company will be an important category for the industry. So right here, in light of our solid financial position, and most notably our excellent liquidity and cash flow position, we do not see the need to conduct further rounds of financing in the near future. So if you're wondering, the reverse split is tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, don't be alarmed if you see HEXO's up 400%. It's just the reverse split, so it should be opening around $4 and $5 on the TSX, $4 on the NYSE, so $4 or $5 respectively. And that's what we'll expect tomorrow. But personally, I don't think they're going to be, a lot of people are wondering about dilution after the reverse split because they'll be in a better position to issue more shares. But I don't think that's going to happen. They have about 184 million in cash, I believe, on the last balance sheet. And yeah, I don't see them needing their products, and their sales are increasing. It was about 109% from last year. So I think they're in a great position, and we'll see on their next earnings report. But personally, I don't think they're going to be diluting any shares anytime soon. And that just reiterates my point. So RIOT Blockchain purchases additional 15,000 Antminers from Bitmain. This was the news that basically sent it into orbit, and we're seeing obviously Bitcoin at all-time highs. But RIOT was at about 50 cents back in March, and today about $14 US, which is absolutely incredible. So we'll look at that chart here in a little bit. But we also saw that Ripple to face SEC lawsuit over the cryptocurrency. So crashed, I think it was down over about 10-15% at one point. But essentially, the SEC prepares to sue crypto creator Ripple. And we just had this come through as well. So the SEC sues Ripple over 7-year, $1.3 billion ongoing XRP sale. So the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission believes Ripple Labs violated federal securities law in selling the cryptocurrency to retail consumers. According to the lawsuit filed Tuesday, Ripple raised $1.3 billion over a 7-year period to retail investors through its sale of XRP. In an ongoing sale, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse announced Monday that the SEC had told his company of the impending lawsuit and published the payment firm's Wells response, a document which seeks to tell the SEC why certain activity did not violate U.S. securities laws. For its part, the San Francisco-based fintech firm has long maintained that XRP, the cryptocurrency, is separate from Ripple, the company. The cryptocurrency was often referred to as Ripple through early 2018 and shared a logo with the company until later that year. The impact could be wide-ranging. Several exchanges list XRP in the US, with only one deciding to delist the cryptocurrency ahead of the lawsuit unveiling Tuesday. If the SEC prevails, platforms that continue to list the crypto may have to register as security exchanges. So we'll continue to monitor that, but personally, I don't think we've known about it for a little while now. And personally, this similar thing happened to other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, and they were able to beat it. So we'll see, but this is a little bit different in its own sense, but we'll continue to check back in on that as well. But I think the sell-off has been exhausted at this point, unless we see Bitcoin and the overall crypto market roll over, or just the dollar start to bounce. That could obviously create some short-term selling pressure as well. So we'll just continue to monitor and check back in. So now we'll jump into some charting for the crypto market. And speaking of selling off, it is starting to drop a little bit here now, just scouting a 15-minute higher low on Bitcoin. XRP dropping down to new lows. It looks like we're currently at 44.6 cents. So we do have daily support. So XRP did hold its daily support, which was down here around 43 cents. It held 43 cents. So now we'll see if we can double bottom, or if we lose that support. If we lose that support, there's no support from all the way down here until about the mid 20-cent range. So we're not seeing a huge amount of volume. We are seeing increasing sell volume here though on the daily, but it's not absolutely crazy volume at this point. But keep in mind, we're just looking for weekly higher lows. So we need to change the daily trend back to the bulls to be confident that the weekly higher low is set, but obviously not going to be doing that anytime soon. So we'll just continue to check back, but Bitcoin just looking for a 15-minute higher low here on the daily. We'd have a daily inside bar on watch, so that will be the most important range going forward. And holding EMA 12 at this point, and we'll see, we need to change the 4-hour trend to be confident that the daily higher low is set. So we'll zoom in here. We had the low, high, higher low, higher high, 4-hour trend change, and got above EMA 12, seems to be forming a base of support there as well. We do have volume dropping off a little bit here, so like to see that pick up. Still got about 2.5 hours left of this candle, so could potentially see a spike in volume, but we'll watch that, a volume spike out of that tightening range. So that's pretty much where we stand. Taking a look at SPX, so the index that tracks the S&P 500, using this because of the dividend distribution on SPY, and holding EMA 12 still today. So that has been a good support level the last few days. And did we change the hourly trend yet? No, we did not. So we're just scouting that hourly higher low. See with the low, high, higher low, need to get over 370, 3702.9 to be confident. But at this point could still be a hourly bull flag by the looks of it. So holding 0.382 fib, so still could be potential setup for an hourly bull flag into tomorrow. So that's where we stand. Taking a look at the dollars. So the dollar is still trying to get its bounce going. Looks like we had an hourly trend change with here with a low of 90.01, 90.05, and a higher high. So we are in an hourly uptrend on the dollar. And we're also in a 4-hour uptrend as well. So we'll see if this daily bounce can get some more follow through. We had a huge upper wick from yesterday's candle and looked like we were just going to resume back to lower lows, but we are seeing a decent bounce here today, and we'll continue to monitor back on the dollar, as if the dollar continues to show strength, then that will obviously take the hype and euphoria and momentum away from assets such as stocks and gold and crypto. So moving on, taking a look at some other notable movers. TAN was up another 3.5% today, so the solar sector seeing another bid. IWM up over 1%, biotech almost 1% on the day. And on the red side, we had, let's take a look here, oil's down over 2%. Silver was down quite a bit today as well, or down over 3.5%. So just scouting daily higher lows on silver and gold at this point. Gold holding EMA 12 as well. So trying to form a base of support there. Need to change those 4-hour trends back to the bulls. So once we confirm 4-hour uptrends, we can be confident that those daily higher lows are set. So let's move on to RIOT. So we'll go into some individual stock tickers. So this stock, RIOT, well, actually we'll jump into Apple here first since I have it up here, but obviously huge gap up on the news of the electric vehicle production and market entry in 2024. Huge volume, and we did gap up. We were up at 1.5% from Friday's close. Then we closed up 2.85%. A little bit of a doji there on the daily, so some indecision. We'll see if we open up tomorrow. Likely going to be an inside bar and tightening range and some more price discovery. But Pretty much blue sky breakout territory, all-time high up at 137.98. So we got pretty close to that today at 134.41. So we'll continue to see the potential for blue sky breakouts. Keep in mind that we do have shortened week this week, and we have a full trading day tomorrow and a half a day on the 24th. So wouldn't be surprised if we just stayed in a tightening range into the end of the week. But based on that news, Tesla was down about 1.5%. Daily consolidation underway, still scouting a daily high or low. We did lose EMA 12, but ultimately closed above it. And if we do lose that going into tomorrow, we have EMA 26 down at 587.50 as a potential bounce point. So take a look at NEO, down over 2.5%. Didn't start daily consolidation yet. As you can see, we have a higher low pattern here. We did have a little mini higher low here of about 50 cents. So mini daily bull flag into higher highs, holding EMA 12. So a nice visual guide here. So as long as we maintain that, bulls are in full control in my opinion, but obviously seeing a pullback on the day, but no major red flags at this point. And taking a look at the hourly, we are just looking for an hourly high or low here, taking extended hours off. Low, high, higher, low, lower, high. So if we see more bear follow through into tomorrow, that could, if we lose, most important support is going to be 46.55. If we lose 46.55, that's going to be a lower high and lower low, confirmed hourly downtrend. And when we get that hourly trend change, then the daily consolidation is likely underway. And we'll scout the low of today as well tomorrow. If we lose the low of today tomorrow, then obviously we're going to be under daily consolidation, but hourly confirmed downtrends needed as well to be absolutely confident. So that's where we stand. Taking a look at the bear list, we had CWeb down about 3.5%, NEO, GDX, SU, so Suncor, Snow, leading the decline. On the upside, DFLY, so Dragonfly, drone company, up 50% today. Must have been news on that one. I didn't see any, but crazy move. That one's in my RSP, no touch, and obviously not a huge position because it is penny stock, but nice to see that getting some huge gains today in the long-term portfolio. RIOT up 32%, INSG up 23%, JMIA 14% and counting. DDD saw a decent day on the week today as well, $11.90, close to $12. So taking a look at RIOT on that news, formed a new daily higher low right off EMA 12. So again, just an absolute perfect guide from all the way back here at $3. Hasn't lost it yet, hasn't closed below it. We did have a little bit of a fake out here, but bulls held it. If you would have put your stop under EMA 26, even that would have been a crazy risk, $2 to make. So 70% plus, so risk 15 to 20% to make 70%. That could have been the play there. And obviously bulls just in full control, marching with Bitcoin, huge volume on the daily. Daily higher low, new daily higher low established here at $9.65. So congrats to the RIOT bulls. They are absolutely amazing, everybody today. And I remember seeing this back in March at 50 cents. Just go back here on the monthly chart. 51 cents back in March. Wow. So in 9 months, it has rocketed 34,000%. So 34x your money. So $1,000 into $34,000 in 9 months. That is insane. Huge monthly volume as well. Increasing bull volume on the monthly. This is a strong stock. Wow. No real monthly resistance up until 46.20. So congrats to the Riot Bulls. What an absolute monster tear it has been on since March. So that's pretty much where we stand. Moving on, just in the interest of time here, we'll jump into the LHS and AYR charts here in just a second. But I do want to take a look at Canadian MJ here as well. So this could be a potential daily bear flag here on Canopy. But Canopy did hold, trying to essentially double bottom here off $25. So we're just going to be trying to continue this daily bounce and get above EMA 12 resistance at this point, but double bottom on watch. So most important short-term support on Canopy is going to be $25. And let's just take a look at the bear list today. So TGOD, RIV, and Sundial led the decline. Not surprising, as SNDL and RIV were up huge yesterday, so just some more profit taking. PCLO is up about 10%, BLNS up almost 5%, and OGI and HEXO leading the bull side. So again, HEXO has the reverse split tomorrow, so that'll be going into effect tomorrow. Should be in effect as soon as we open tomorrow. So you can see here a 1 for 4. So your shares will be divided by 4 tomorrow, and the price will be multiplied by 4. So again, opening at $4 and $5 respectively on the NYSE and TSX. So should be an interesting day tomorrow, currently at 103 after hours. And just taking a look at US MJ. So we saw some more consolidation on this in this sector as well. So Ian was down about 15%, KBEV, TAT, MedMen down over 5%. We had on the bull list, LHS obviously up, closing the day up 63% essentially. CXXI up over 17%. Acreage up over 5%. So we'll take a look at LHS. Actually, we'll take a look at AYRWF first. So on the day, down 2%. So we were up to 23 at one point today, but ultimately closed red with a huge upper wick and huge volume. But we'll zoom in here just to get a sense of what that volume was. And that's a pretty nasty sell-off. Lower high every candle for the last 7 hours. So we need to break the high of the previous candle. We do have EMA 12 potentially crossing bearish through EMA 26. So it doesn't look like the downside has completely ended yet. But we need to change that 5-minute trend back to the bulls to be confident that the hourly high or low is set, and we need to break the previous high of the previous hourly candle as well to be confident that the hourly bounce is underway. So that's where we stand. LHS, so huge move on this news from the close of yesterday roughly to where we opened, gapped up over 50%, 54%, and from the lows of Friday to the highs of today up over 90%. So congrats to the bulls on Liberty Health. Look at that daily volume. That is absolutely monstrous. Just taking a look at the monthly. It's the most monthly volume we've seen since back here in April of 2019. And it looks like we're in a monthly uptrend now as well. And the weekly high or low established as well. And huge weekly volume. The most weekly volume since 2018. But finished the day with a pretty big upper wick there. And taking a look at the hourly chart. So we did have the high or low, lower high, trying to double bottom here. You can see we had the low of 86 cents. So we didn't lose 86. So it could be a potential hourly bull flag at this point, but forming a little bit of a descending triangle here as well on the hourly, which is usually a bearish pattern. So we could draw it something a little bit like this. If we use the real candle bodies, wanted to use the high, the absolute highs and lows, draw it something like that. But essentially that is a bearish pattern, but Could still be an hourly bull flag as well. It's a little choppy actually. This is all in the same move. So within this hourly range, so 96 being the most important resistance, which was the highest high of the day, and the low of 82. But we are forming a little bit of a base here at 86. So that's going to be the most important short-term support. After that, we'll look to 82. And if we lose 82, then it could be Geronimo into this gap fill, which is all the way down at 54 cents. So lack of support, huge gap. So just don't forget to remain protective of profits, but no major red flags at this point. So taking a look at the 5-minute chart here, again, there's not a whole lot of liquidity on this name, but let's just take a look at the dollar volume today. So 13.93 million shares. Times share price of, we'll say an average of 80 cents. So you're looking at about $11 million traded today, which is quite a bit, but still not that much compared to, say, Aurora, which had over $3 billion traded in one day. So $11 million compared to billions of dollars, big difference. But obviously, bulls are very happy with this news and this huge move up. So once again, congrats to the bulls. Taking a look at the weekly chart here, you can see the MACD just absolutely blasted off today, and stochastic has been bullish for quite some time. We are well above the 10-week moving average now, which is down at 53 cents. And we'll take a look at IYRWF. So 10-week moving average at 1879. So the stochastic has already crossed bearish. So that was a little bit of an indicator. It's been like that now for a couple of weeks. So that gave us a little bit of clue once we heard this news to be looking the other way, because we knew that it was probably going to benefit LHS and not so much AYR. And the stochastic gave us a little bit of a clue there that it's been trending bearish for the last few weeks. But still above the 10-week moving average. The MACD looks to be curling, but still bullish overall. And taking a look at the weekly moving averages, you can see the 50 is looking to potentially cross through the 100. So that can be perceived as a bullish pattern. And we'll continue to monitor this. But like I said, MACD still bullish. And taking a look at LHS, moving averages on the weekly. So we're well above the weekly 100 weekly moving average, which is at 60 cents. So at the bare minimum, need to see us close over that by the end of the week to remain extremely bullish. And on the daily moving averages, well above the, just bring this down here. I'm not sure why that's doing what it's doing, but you can see here we have the 50 crossing through the 200 moving average as well. So we have a golden cross and some huge follow through on that golden cross. Taking a look at AWR or AYRWF, sorry. Well above the 50, 100 and the 200. We did have a golden cross, which was back here in August. And we've just been riding the 50-day moving average as support the entire way. So could potentially be looking to test that again. It's been a while since we tested it. So that's down at about $18. So if we do see some bearish momentum pick up, could look to find some support around the $18 level. So with that, that's pretty much all I had for you guys today. Let's take a look at the summary that I have. So again, HEXO's reverse split will take effect tomorrow pre-market. And when you wake up tomorrow, you should see, keep in mind that some exchanges and some brokers may be a little delayed. So if you don't see your shares reduction, your shares diminished or reduced, then just be patient. Everything will get sorted in time. And we have a short week this week, so just continue to monitor. Continue to have a stop loss and a plan in place, but just don't forget to take some time off and spend time with your family and friends and relax. It's time to recuperate, hit January, running and hit the ground running and just come back fresh next year. So again, expecting volume to drop off tomorrow and into Thursday, and obviously Friday we're closed. We also have the jobless claims coming in on Thursday as well, so we'll continue to see if that bearish downward trend picks up any momentum. But with that, thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. I'm currently traveling at the moment, not in my regular setup, so I'll be traveling for about 3 or 4 more days, but essentially in a cottage out in a lake in Alberta and just enjoying some quiet time and some family time. So with that, thanks again, everyone, for joining us for another daily market recap, and we'll see you tomorrow after market close.